Well. Apple and Google have officially announced that Gemini will be powering Siri 2.0 coming later this year. Let's get into it. There's been a rumor going around for quite a while now that Google Gemini will be powering the new Siri 2.0 under the hood, as Apple has been struggling to produce it. And of course, we all know how WWDC 24 went down, the whole fake show-offs, and let's just say Apple couldn't really pull it off. Of course, those were just rumors, but it turns out they were true because both Apple and Google have officially acknowledged and announced that that will be happening. As we can see here from a statement from Google, it says that Apple and Google have entered a multi-year collaboration under which the next generation of Apple Foundation models, aka Siri 2.0, will be based on Google's Gemini models and cloud technologies. These models will help power future Apple Intelligence features, including a more personalized Siri coming this year. And as we can see later in the document, it states that it will still be running off Apple's private cloud compute and on device, as Apple's very big on privacy, and some people are saying that's why the Siri didn't go down too well. But yeah, this is big news. We all know that the current Siri is very dumb. That might not be nice, but it is very true. And what this means is that it will be using Gemini's technology. Now, Apple's probably not going to say powered by Gemini, who knows, but basically Apple's getting this model. Apple's probably going to customize the model, and then whenever you use Siri, it will use that model, which is going to be good because we can finally have natural flowing conversations, multi-step questions, and the big thing is that it will be able to control things on your phone. Because yeah, we do have the ChatGPT in Siri right now, but the thing is that cannot do actions on your phone. So I will be able in the future to be like, hey Siri, find a restaurant in New York City that has 5 stars and send it to RCS Bros.
I found this on the web.
And as you can see, that multi-step question that interacts, it just searches it, and that's basically how everything works with Siri. But with this new Gemini, that will mean that it will actually be able to do it. And also, they did say Apple Intelligence features, including the new Siri, so this could mean we could see a actual circle to search, maybe, I don't know, I doubt it. We could see other features with Apple Intelligence all revamped by Gemini. And so overall, I am actually really excited for this because it will be so cool to have that functionality on Siri, and it will really catch Apple back up. And that'll be using Gemini, but frankly, I don't mind as long as it's good and it uses the Apple interface. And I really think this is a really big thing for Apple. And frankly, I'm really interested to see the implementations they will use this for and how they'll discuss it. But time only tells. We'll have to see what Apple actually does. But that's not the only piece of news we have to cover today. And that is because Apple has officially announced the Apple Creator Studio. So there was actually a leak of this in some files found in an iOS update, and it turns out this is actually happening because Apple in a press release has announced it. And basically they took all of their Pro applications and their iLife applications, bundled them together in a monthly subscription for $13 a month. And I don't know about this. So this subscription will include Final Cut Pro, Logic Pro, Pixelmator Pro, Keynote, Pages, Numbers, Freeform, Motion, Compressor, and now Motion, Compressor, and Mainstage are exclusive to Mac, but there is a version of Final Cut Pro and Logic Pro for iPad just a bit dumbed down. But this is actually quite a bit of apps. You have your pro editing software. This normally costs $300 on its own. Logic Pro, I think it costs like $200 on its own. Pixelmator Pro, I think it's $50 one-time purchase. But then we have Keynote, Pages and Numbers, and Freeform, which are probably like, aren't those free? Well, yes. Now, I'm just gonna cut to the straight. If you already own any of these, like if you already own Final Cut Pro, like as you can see, I already own Final Cut Pro. I will not have to get this subscription to keep using it. This is just if you want all of them, and you'll still be able to buy these individually. The thing is that you'll be getting all these slightly cheaper, I guess, under one roof. And I think Apple's doing this to kind of compete with Adobe, but I'm not too fond of it. But let's keep going. And like I was saying about Keynote, Pages, and Numbers, and Freeform, they will also still be free. The thing is that you're just going to get some premium features that have to do with AI. Like in Keynote, it will be able to arrange your slides for you or fix something for you. And Numbers, I think you'll be able to automatically generate formulas, and Pages will have some things too. It's just you can only get those new features with there. That doesn't mean there won't be any new updates for these for the free users. It's just those more premium. But frankly, I won't even use those. So basically, you're getting all these apps in one subscription, and it is $12.99 or $129 per year. So that is quite expensive, but I can kind of see why, because you're also getting Final Cut Pro for iPad, I believe, too, which is already a subscription. But I just don't like Apple doing more and more subscriptions, because here's the deal. I use Final Cut Pro. I have Final Cut Pro on my Mac, and I am doing the 1 month free trial on my iPad, which I'll probably cancel because I'll just use LumaFusion. And I love Final Cut Pro. It's one of the best editing softwares in my opinion. And I also use Apple Motion. I use Apple Motion to create those cool custom titles you will see in my game reviews. I use Apple Motion to do that, but then I bring all my videos together inside of Final Cut Pro. And one of the main reasons why I chose Final Cut Pro is because it was subscription free and it was easy and intuitive. And I just don't like Apple leaning into this Adobe Creative Cloud-like subscription model. Now, I honestly can see the appeal, but for me personally, I will not be getting this, because while I do use and love Apple Motion and Apple Final Cut Pro, I've already paid the very big price tag for Final Cut Pro and Apple Motion. And the thing is that all of these other apps I don't use. I do use Numbers, Pages, and occasionally Keynote, but I mainly just use Pages and Numbers. But I don't really care for those new AI features. But I don't really use Freeform, and it's still free. There's just a few features. I don't use Compressor. I don't use MainStage. I don't make music, so I don't use Logic Pro. And I don't use Pixelmator Pro. I have considered getting it, but if I'm going to use it, I'm just going to buy it. I'm not going to get this subscription. So overall, I can kind of see what Apple is going for here, and I think it's a good-ish idea, but frankly, I'd rather they just discount everything and you can just one-time payment for the Creator Studio. Yes, it might be real expensive, but maybe everything will be discounted. But I kind of get the point of the subscription. I just don't like subscriptions when it comes to this. I don't like subscriptions really in general. And I just don't like seeing this. Now, but hey, they're for now saying that you still can do a one-time payment and you're not going to lose access. So as long as Apple can permanently keep that promise, I'm fine with it. But if not, I will be very mad. The only thing is that it seems like Apple will be paywalking new features in softwares like Final Cut Pro, which people like me had to pay $300 for to use, which is very wrong in my opinion, and I'm very mad because I paid an absurd amount of money and now I'm going to have to pay a subscription just to get these new features. Now, the wording in the newsroom article was a bit confusing, so we'll just have to see when it comes out to confirm that or not, but sadly it looks like that's what's going to be happening, and overall I'm very mad at Apple about that. Yeah, that is all the Apple news we have that has popped up this week. Overall, most of it's really good. While I don't really like the subscription, I can see it coming in handy for some. And also, one thing that they did show off is several updates coming to like Final Cut Pro and stuff that I'm excited. And if you want to get the subscription, it'll be available on the 28th. I personally won't be getting it, but I can definitely see why this would be a good thing for some people. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one.